Hey, this is Esoteric the Reb, and I wanted this one to be about my experience with shadow beings and how they are and like how they differentiate, or well, not necessarily how they differentiate from other beings, but kind of what they're about. So, and this is all based off like personal experiences with them and stuff like that, but there seems to be different kinds. So there's the Hat Man, who's like really thick, dark, and this guy can just he can just come into your room and start talking to you, offer you deals, all kinds of uh, just like a normal interaction. There's also a kind that quite literally uh, comes off of your back. Um, and sort of becomes like the devil over your shoulder. Uh, that can actually exist in the spirit. Like you'll be walking around with like a shadow being attached to your back. I've seen them embed themselves uh, along the legs a lot, and sort of like snake around. Um, so like what they did was like they picked a spot. Like this particular instance was like the back of the knee. In this area, there was a physical manifestation of this. Like the veins in the area started to protrude. The area was sore a lot, and what it was spiritually speaking, a shadow being had. I don't know if they lay eggs or how they give birth or what, but I watched this person lay their hands on it, and all these shadow beings flew out of this person's leg. Only they were little and squiggly like worms or snakes. You know, they weren't like Hat Man level, and they weren't the kind that are like the devil over your shoulder. These were uh, like I said, like squiggly snake like, and it was crazy. It had a shitload, maybe you can conjure an image of your mind of like snakes mating in like a ball. There's like that many of them that ejected from this area in the body that had been impregnated by this shadow being. I've seen shadow beings expire, uh, and there's like a really, really, really big like burst of cold energy. I mean, it feels like the wind. Feels like the wind blowing when one of them expires. They obviously should be obvious are not working on the side of light. If one of them was to ever offer you anything, obviously you shouldn't take it. These beings, I've seen them attack. Um, and so when you're dealing with energies and stuff like that, you're gonna understand that there's like, that those shadows carry like uh, like an energetic frequency almost. I hate to use that word frequency, but it's a denser energy. Okay, so when a shadow being, say, wants to uh, hit you in the head, that's what you'll feel. You'll feel this like heavy, dense energy kind of go through you, uh, and you gotta like uh, energetically fix yourself from this wound. But it's not a physical wound. It's not like he chopped you in the head with an axe, but you can feel it severing, splitting your inner spiritual oneness, splitting your spirit almost as if it were splitting your flesh. a wound to your spirit that you have to heal in a similar manner. And that's another thing about spiritual matters. A lot of things that exist in the physical world exist in the spiritual world. Or like they have like a spiritual counterpart. So there's parasites in the regular world, and there's spiritual parasites and astral parasites in the spiritual world. And there's ways of keeping parasites off of you in the real world, and a lot of that's hygienic. And it's the same thing with parasites in the spiritual world, only we're talking about spiritual hygiene. Spiritual hygiene also helps with the shadow beings. The original point of this discussion. They can't handle the light. They simply can't handle it. I don't know if they're attracted to me, or if they're attracted to maybe a certain type of energy I give off, but I've been dealing with them for a long time, and nothing too intense lately, but every once in a while, I'll get a sense that I'm not alone, and I'll have to remove, one of these shadow beings, and they're pretty amorphous. But the real intense ones, they can be almost black, like ink, and they're just up walking around. It can get that intense. There's everything from the small snake-like ones that periodically I'll feel one enter my leg, and I'll have to, spiritually remove this thing. Everything from ones like that to inky black, humanoid. I don't even know. For all I know, it's a jinn, but they're real, and they're walking around. And if you're gonna get into spiritual practices and stuff like that, this is something that you got to be weary of. That beings like this are probably going to be drawn to you, or you might have beings like this on you already, and you can't even perceive them. See, most people already have kind of a dense energetic frequency. So you could have one of these, on your back right now, and you wouldn't know because you haven't upgraded your energy and your light and your relationship with God, and raised yourself to the point of being able to not just perceive these things, but remove them as well. But I've had a lot of experiences with them. They're not good news. They're not good news. They aren't your teacher. They aren't your helper. Just another bump in the road you got to go over.